Howdy, howdy. It's Monday, August the 3rd, I believe, 2020. My name is Angela Hooper-Menifield, and this is your HR Moment with Menifield and Associates. So let me first start off by saying I hope everybody had a great week. Things have started out pretty good for me, really busy. Most of you know I've been out of town probably about the better part of the last 6.5, 7 weeks. And so it's just good to be home and good to be back in my normal habitats, right? Been making do where I was, and I'm very appreciative of the time that I was able to stay away. So first I want to give a shout out to a small business owner and an entrepreneur, and that is my friend Tanya. Her name is Tanya Fairley, and she is the business owner for Unlimited Strands. And first, let me make sure I get that taken care of, as in I want to give her a shout out for her business. So for those of you natural hairstylists like myself who want to be able to support small businesses, the name of the business again is Unlimited Strands, STRADANDZ, and she is the CEO of this business. And so Tanya has natural hair care products. And so as a result of that, I recently purchased and actually used them for the first time. So her name is TONYA FAIRLEY. So again, I shout out, I buy a lot of hair care products from companies I know nothing about. And so I definitely want to honor and respect minority business owners, women business owners, and, people like myself who understand what it takes to have natural hair. And I can tell you guys, my hair is really soft. This is not part of my HR moment, but I just want to shout her out. I just think I know how hard it is to start a business. And when you have a physical product, kudos to you. So thank you so much. So now today's HR moment. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about how we can stop letting fear get in the way of our leadership and management. So let me first just start off by giving you an analogy of what I'm talking about. And part of this is stemmed from, again, a conversation that I listen to. You guys know I love sports. I listen to things. And today I was listening to some commentators talk about the fact that a league couldn't do or allow one individual to do something that they wanted to do, because they used the phrase that it could open Pandora's box, right? Like all these other people are going to want to do it. And I'm just going to tell you guys, I cannot tell you how many times I've heard people use the same thing as it pertains to supervising people. And so an example would be that I recall hearing is, for instance, let's say somebody on your team. Hey, mama. My mama's watching me, guys. Y'all know I love my mama. So let's say someone on your team asks you, hey, Angela, can I go home early today? And you're thinking, well, maybe, maybe not. Because if I let, we'll use my mom's name since she's watching, right? So if I let Addie go home early, then everybody will want to go home early. Now, share, give me a comment if you've ever heard a manager or a supervisor use that as the justification as to why they couldn't let someone, or it may have even been you, do the thing that you wanted to do. Because again, and the analogy is, I can't let you do it because then everybody will want to do it. So number one, my first question is, who is everybody? Are they in cubicle number 3? Are they in accounting? Who is everybody? Because let's just be honest, everybody is not a person. Everybody is this fear that we have that if we say yes to one person, then we'll have to say yes to 10 people. That's not usually the case. Because again, I often ask supervisors, so let me just get this right. If Addie wants to leave at noon on Wednesday, you really believe everybody in your office will come and want to leave at noon on Wednesday? And then let's just say they don't want to leave at noon on Wednesday, but they want to leave at noon on Thursday. Well, my question would be to you as a supervisor leader is like, what are the parameters? What is the criteria that you've established to justify leaving work early? Because if you have protocol or requirements or prerequisites, we can use whatever word we want to use, that determine, like if we check the box on all these things, then employee X can leave early, then we don't have to worry about what everybody else wants to do. Because guess what? If they meet all the requirements and the criteria, then they should be allowed to leave early. What's the problem? So let's say the employee that asked, had a medical condition. Maybe they were ill. Maybe they've been at work ill. Maybe they were contagious. Maybe they had a family member and they had a note, or the school called and said, you need to come get your child. So again, these are situations, circumstances that would justify you saying yes. So if everybody else came with the same documentation, proof, standard, prerequisites, then they should be able to leave. Because let's be honest, if I have a death in my family, which of course we all know I just recently did, right? And I say to the boss or the supervisor, hey, I need to leave early, or I need to take off tomorrow, I have to go to a funeral. Wouldn't, if another employee had a death in their family, you let them take off too? Like you wouldn't say, I can't let you take off, because if I let you take off, everybody's gonna wanna take off. You would say in your mind, wow, what's the irony that we have two people with this as an issue in the same week? Nonetheless, we'll figure it out, because both of these are legitimate reasons for people to miss work. You would never tell one no out of fear that somebody else with an equally legitimate need would then expect to be off. So if we go back to that same analogy, why would you tell me no for whatever I asked to leave for on Wednesday out of fear that other people would ask? Because if their reason was equally legitimate, they should be allowed to leave too, right? And we always figure it out at work. We always do. And so don't be that supervisor. Don't be that manager that leads through the lens of, well, I can't let you do it, because if I let you do it, everybody else is going to want to do it, right? Don't be that person. Because again, one, you're creating a picture that may or may not be realistic. But secondly, if you have done your job as a supervisor, set up, what is the qualifications for leaving early? Under what circumstances can people deviate from the normal work schedule? Then you will verify that whomever needs to leave has met that. And as such, you can with confidence say, yes, they can go. Because again, you're not going to tell another employee. So if one person had a death in the family and another person took ill, you're not going to tell the second person, well, I can't let you go because somebody already had a death, right? You would let both of them go. And so again, as supervisors, it is our responsibility to manage effectively and consistently. And so this brings me to one of my favorite phrases. If you've been watching my videos before, you may have heard it. We must treat equally situated people equally. What does that mean? If one person has this situation and this is how we respond, then when the other people have a similar situation, we respond accordingly. Hey, Charmin, it is a little bit like situational leadership, but it's even more than that, right? Because situational leadership says we deviate for the situation. What I'm saying is we look at the circumstances of the request, which of course is that situation, but we're also consistent with what are the requirements, whether that's, again, the documentation, proof of, having to go to court, proof of death in the family, a death certificate, whatever those things are, doctor's note. We have to be consistent. And when we're consistent, then people know what to expect. And the second part of this is it mitigates the ridiculous requests, right? Because you've already, as the supervisor or manager, established the criteria. So people know, don't just show up with nonsense. If they do, you're going to send them back anyway. But in case, people are paying attention, they'll say, I better not go in Angela's office with this nonsense, right? Because this is not a legitimate reason to leave work. So thank you so much for watching our HR moment. Again, shout out to my friend Tanya Fairley with her hair care product line. I think I have my background here, but hopefully you can see my hair is really soft. It's actually softer than it normally is. My curl pattern is a little different today, but I do like it. And I'm not 100% sure that I used the products correctly, so I'm going to keep working with them. But I want to shout her out, and I'm glad to be supporting her business. And then also, I'll leave you with the fact that when I talk about, treating equally situated people equally, this is some of the work that we have to do in that space of diversity and inclusion, right? Because one, we diversify, and we're already diverse, so we don't even really have to work at that. Thank you, Sherman. But what we also have to do is allow people to feel included and include everybody, have a sense of belonging, but then accurately apply the standards, right? And so this is all in the makeup of becoming a good supervisor, a great leader. And so I've done, years of D&I training, civil rights training, racial equity training, and I'm about to become certified in a new diversity and inclusion program. And so if you're interested in continuing to up-level how you lead and supervise your team, leave me a comment, inbox me. I'm finalizing my D&I page on my website probably by tomorrow, where you can get more information. As I understand it, this content is also SHRM. It'll be eligible for SHRM recertification credits. For those of you who know what SHRM is, I don't have to tell you. For those of you who don't, I won't leave you in the dark. SHRM is the Society of Human Resource Management, and those of us who do have a SHRM certification, that's the SCP you see there next to my name. We have to maintain that certification by taking courses and classes that qualify for recertification. So if you're a person who's SHRM certified as myself, or I would probably even say we may even be able to get it HRCI certified, right? But this would be a great training for you and your team. But it's also good because you need to know, how do you help up level the supervisors, the people who are touching on a day-to-day basis your organization. I'm going to leave you with this. Like, I'm sure you guys have seen all the articles recently about some of the transgressions that may or may not, because they're allegations right now on the Ellen show. At the end of the day, the leaders of the organization, the network, and Ellen, right, they'll be held accountable, even if they didn't do the acts that are being alleged. So this is why D&I training is so important, because we will be held accountable as supervisors for the actions of all the people that we manage, not just ourselves. So prepare yourself, equip yourself, and equip your team. Because if you don't, ultimately you'll be the one that will have to respond to it. So thank you for watching. Again, this has been your HR Moment with Menifield and Associates. My name is Angela Hooper-Menifield. Have a happy Monday, a great rest of the week, and we will see you Wednesday. Take care. Thanks again, Sharman. I appreciate you.